Hello, everyone. This is Jim Watts with the Tulsa World Scene Department here with Jimmy Trammell, also of the Scene Department, talking about things in pop and other cultures that are coming up in the next few days. Last week, Jimmy, you talked about the Billy Jack story that you had and all the things that people need to learn about Billy Jack. Did you get much response from readers about that? I'm curious.
A little bit on Facebook and by way of email, but not a heck of a lot. I didn't post it to the fans of Billy Jack Facebook page because if I got something slightly wrong, I didn't want them getting on me. You don't want that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's the Tulsa World has about a month ago started allowing people to make comments on stories on the website, and I don't know that people are aware of that. So you can, if you want to, on anything that we post. I think they're policing it a little more closely than perhaps in the past. So be nice, people. What else have you got coming up this weekend, Jimmy?
Well, we go from a 50th anniversary of Billy Jack last week to the 25th anniversary of another movie. This one filmed in Oklahoma. This week, I'll have this story in Sunday's Tulsa World. And I dropped a hint last week of Aunt Meg's Breakfast that we'd be talking about. And it is in the movie Twister, so 5th anniversary, that might have the greatest movie meal scene of all time. The steak and eggs and the mashed potatoes and the gravy that could be its own food group at Aunt Meg's in Waukeeta. And, made in 1996, Twister was filmed in several towns in Oklahoma and made almost $500 million. I mean, it's a true blockbuster financially. Hard to believe that it's 25, but the town most closely associated with Twister is Waukeeta, where Aunt Meg lived and fed all the storm chasers. And it was a town that was demolished for the sake of making a movie, but they were happy to be demolished. I'll tell you why in Sunday, that Waukeeta said, "Hey, come in and destroy our buildings. We're good with that." But there is a museum there in Waukeeta. It's a Twister movie museum. It's been open for 25 years, ever since the movie opened. It's a really neat place. They got a great lady who's an ambassador for the town and the museum. And so I went 5 years ago, and I went again this week just to refamiliarize myself with Waukeeta in the museum. You're not going to stumble onto Waukeeta. I don't know if you've been to Waukeeta. Have you been to Waukeeta?
No, but I understand it's someplace you have to intend to go to.
Right. It's about 2 flying cows from the Kansas border. But you go to Medford and keep going west, and then when you see Highway 11A, you take Highway 11A north, and the road literally dead ends at Medford. You can't get anywhere else, or it dead ends at Waukeeta. You can't get anywhere else except Waukeeta. So you've got to be going there to find it. But people come from all over the globe to see this because of one movie in 1996. People from France came last Sunday. Never mind that the museum was closed, they came anyway. So this one movie 25 years ago has made this little town in Oklahoma a tourist attraction. Go figure.
Does your story include a vignette about a Tulsa World photographer and a helicopter?
I don't think it does have a vignette about a Tulsa World photographer, but you're telling me something I don't know here.
Well, if it's the anecdote that I'm thinking of is that he's no longer with the paper, but for some reason one of our photographers was flying over that area and didn't know that the movie was being made and thought that this was a tornado.
Sure.
And they had demolished the town so well that this photographer who had done a lot of aerial photography over tornado sites thought this was the real thing. And I believe they landed in the middle of a shot to see what they could help or something. But yeah, that's one of those things of Tulsa World lore that has stuck in my head for all these 25 years. So.
The photographer vignette this time is our newest staff photographer, Michael Noble Jr. is a
Okay.
Twister fan, has seen it about 200 times. He had a VHS tape of it that he watched, and he watched it so many times that it started to show wear and tear at certain segments in the VHS tape. But he wanted to take a different angle than just going to the museum, and props to him. He wanted to find, we intended to find a vehicle, a replica vehicle, or someone who was just so infatuated with Twister, they built a replica vehicle or a replica Dorothy. And instead we one up that and found an actual movie vehicle that's still running and is owned by someone in Guthrie. There's a yellow and blue Jeep pickup truck that Helen Hunt's character drives in the first 33 minutes of the film until a spoiler alert or tornado body slams it, and then boom, the truck goes kablooey. But there were 4 of those trucks used for the movie, and somebody in Guthrie still has one, and it attracts a lot of attention.
Great. Okay. Well, look forward to that and expect to be blown away by your story.
Oh, blown away. Well done.
Sorry. I can't resist a cheap joke. Well, there's nothing to joke about with what I've got coming up on Sunday, which is Tulsa Ballet's final performance of the season is called The Celebration. Most of what's going to be performed are excerpts from ballets that have been pivotal in the company's evolution over the last 25 years. Special choreographers that ordinarily would not have worked with a company of the size of Tulsa Ballet, but saw that their talent and commitment more than exceeded their budgets. But it also is going to conclude with a new work by a choreographer named Jennifer Weber, who is a leading hip hop choreographer. She's done music videos. She did a Disney movie called Zombies 2, where the music is primarily rap and hip hop, and she did all the choreography for that. She created a show called the Hip Hop Nutcracker, which uses the Tchaikovsky score and the story, the traditional story, but it's all done with hip hop dancing. And so this is the first time she's ever worked with a ballet company. And I was able to watch a bit of an early rehearsal, and Tulsa Ballet dancers are incredible artists and incredible athletes and are willing to do just about anything. But this was giving some of them a lot of trouble because they were basically, and Jennifer says this, I'm asking them to do the exact opposite of what they've what they've trained their whole lives to do. So it's going to be an interesting way to end the evening. So that is going to be presented at the Cox Business Center the 14th, which is a Thursday, no, the 13th, I'm sorry, the 13th, which is a Thursday, and the 16th, which is a Sunday. So
I guess we could have combined our passions this week and had a Twister Ballet story. You never know.
Well, they did do a Wizard of Oz that did have a tornado happen. It was projected, but it was a tornado on stage. They brought a train on stage to run over a dancer. Some interesting things over the years.
Oh, so, and we were going to bring up that on the way back from Waukeeta, I took the not the turnpike back, but the other way back, just to go through Pawhuska to see if there have been any new developments in regard to Killers of the Flower Moon visually. And you can see more and more Pawhuska taking shape with some storefronts on the main drag there. in town, and where they built a fake railroad track for us. They're now building an artificial train depot. So, and I understand more things are taking place in Fairfax. I think even in Pawhuska is doubling for Fairfax in the film. So,
Okay.
so definitely, if you go through Pawhuska, you can see things happening that indicate that Killers of the Flower Moon is on the way.
They haven't really started filming yet. They're still creating sets and locations. Is that right to say, or have they started filming some things?
I'm not quite sure. I do know that someone had forwarded me some information yesterday that they're covering roads in Fairfax, streets in Fairfax with dirt in preparation. So I would assume you get that done pretty quick, because one good rain and your dirt street becomes a mud street. You know?
which is true Oklahoma. So, well, what else we got going on? The Tulsa Symphony is bringing Beethoven back to the ballpark on Friday, the 14th of May. They will be performing Beethoven's Ninth Symphony at One Oak Field downtown. And we'll have a big thing about that. We talked with the conductor, Gerhard Zimmerman, who's worked with Tulsa Symphony pretty much since its beginnings. Comes back almost, if not every year, every other year to lead a work, and it's usually a very grandiose piece, you know, Mahler and the like, and the Beethoven Ninth is about as grandiose as you can get. And we talked with him about that, and that the fact that this is going to be his first time to conduct since March of 2020. And between then and now, he contracted COVID-19 and spent a number of months in hospital and recovery. Wow. So he said that he's hoping that conducting is a bit like riding a bike, and that he doesn't forget, up and down and all that. So, okay.
You have food for us.
Well, I was going to ask if you stopped off at any interesting places to eat during your sojourn to Waukeeta, if Aunt Meg's did make you breakfast.
Well, a little diner, Dairy Queen type place in Medford was recommended to me for their giant pies. So I was going to stop and get a coconut cream pie slice, but they were out, and I got a fried apple pie instead. So that was the only.
Nothing wrong with a fresh fried apple pie. Well, we will not have a food review this week, basically because I've got too much other things to do for our forthcoming magazine. But we will be, there does seem to be a spate of Mexican and Latin restaurants opening. So we'll be as one of our photographers said, we'll be shooting a lot of tacos in the weeks to come. One of them is a new place in what used to be a dance hall called SRO. It's Tacos y Mezcal. That will be coming up. I believe that'll be the 19th. We'll have that review for the 19th. And I tried I went to the soft opening. It wasn't to review it, but the soft opening of a place called Wildflower Cafe at 11th and Peoria. What I had was really good, but I need to go back and try some more stuff. So that's another one that'll be coming up soon. So look for those. Anything else we can think of for our many viewers?
I think that squares us away for this week, unless you're a pop culture con kind of person and want to go see the Darth Maul actor in Oklahoma City at the Wyndham Garden Inn Saturday and Sunday. Actually, he's a Saturday only guest. But as these cons continue to come back, we do have one Saturday and Sunday in Oklahoma City. Okay. He's Pop Culture Con, if you want to look it up on Facebook.
All right. Well, may the 4th be with him. Okay. Well, in that case, for Jimmy Trammell, this is Jim Watts with the Tulsa World. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you later.